Hello, this is Bwana from Bwana.tv, and today I want to talk about the brouhaha, the big story, the big kahuna that happened today with Gizmodo and the possibly new iPhone which they revealed today. So this story, which Gizmodo broke today, I want to give you two little aspects of it. I want to tell you first my thoughts on on just what they found and the possibility of that coming, and my thoughts on that. And then I want to talk about how they obtained it and my opinion on the whole process. So Gizmodo, they really outdid themselves. They somehow obtained the iPhone, the next iPhone, or apparently a prototype of it. And they posted a blog post today, and they said, "This is Apple's next iPhone." Very confident. They believe that it is, and they have pictures. And it looks sleek. It's a pretty nice design. It's got more squared corners than the rounded corners that you're used to seeing. It's got more metallic buttons. Looks very Apple-like. I'm not going to say it doesn't look Apple-like. It does look like it's the next thing. It's got two separate buttons for the volume controls and other things. So they listed the feature set. They talk about it in the video, and they got a beautiful gallery up there. Some of the notable features is a front-facing video chat camera, which means that we may be able, this is true, to do video calling. I don't know if that's going to be true, but we may also be able to take self-portraits better with the iPhone and not, turn around and trying to find the button to tap it. They got apps where you can hit anywhere on the screen, but, and we may actually be able to do some better streaming of ourselves with this particular thing. So it's some exciting areas with the front-facing video chat camera, catching up with Nokia. Symbian's been doing this for a long time. Improved regular back camera. They said the lens is larger. Obviously, well, not obviously, you guys don't know, but they couldn't test it because when they turned this phone on, they couldn't get past the connect to iTunes screen. When you first get the iPhone, it says connect to iTunes so you can activate it. Apparently, they couldn't get past that. Yeah, you guys can chew on that one for a little while. But they said that the lens is actually bigger. Made to note a better quality lens. Camera flash. So finally, those of you who want to take pictures at night will get better photo quality with the camera flash. Has a micro SIM instead of a standard SIM. Improved display. That connect to iTunes screen was beautiful. It was gorgeous. It had so many colorful blue and white and all, yes, colorful pictures. Yes, it was. They said they have a secondary mic for noise cancellation at the top and next to the headphone jack. Separate buttons for volume. Split buttons is like one button on the top, one button on the bottom. Power mute volume buttons that are all metallic. The back is completely flat. Aluminum border is completely around the inside. Slightly smaller screen than the 3GS. A little weird. But seemingly higher resolution. Everything is more squared off. 3 grams heavier, 16% larger battery, maybe a larger battery life. So, all those are great. Those are great things. Great features. I welcome just about every single one of them, except the smaller screen. I don't get that. But everything else, I think is a win. If it comes in the next iPhone, I'll be the first one raising my hand going, I want that. Whether I get it is another story. But I'll say, I want that. So, to the next topic. Now this is cool and all, but you got to be asking yourself, how in the world did Gizmodo get an Apple prototype? This is unheard of. This is the most secretive company in the history of secretive companies. It's just astounding that they got this. So, their explanation is, this phone was lost in a bar. It was lost in a bar. I'm not joking. I'm not making this up. They said it was lost in the bar. 3-step process here, guys. Follow me. Step 1. The phone was lost in a bar. Somebody found it. Step 2. Step 3. Gizmodo obtained it. And now we're looking at it. That's awesome. Awesome. So, yeah. This whole thing is, I'm joking, guys. It's kind of shady how they got it. I mean, there's all kinds of rumors circulating the web on how they got this phone, how they obtained it. I wrote a blog post on Bwana.org. I'll link to it. I said, and I'm going to tell you why I said this. Is Gizmodo pimping a stolen iPhone? Are they? Is Gizmodo pimping a stolen iPhone? Now the reason I say that is because they stated in the article that the phone had been reported lost. No link to anything. But then they go on to say that John Gruber from Daring Fireball said that Apple lost a prototype. And then they quote him. And John Gruber came back today and said, no, I never said they lost it. If anything, Apple thinks the phone is stolen and they want it back. So Gizmodo is using the word lost. John Gruber is using the word stolen. Which one of these guys are right? My gut feeling, and I don't have any proof other than what I'm showing you guys, I'm going to give you the links, is that the phone is missing. How it's missing is unknown, but the phone is missing. I don't think the phone was intentionally lost. I don't think Apple has some super secret cops planning it in places. No, I don't think that's true. I do believe that the phone was obtained without someone's prior knowledge. In other words, it was stolen. That's what I think. I think the phone was stolen, guys. And the stories that are coming out surrounding this are kind of supporting that claim, because there's another story I'm going to link to that says that Gizmodo may have paid up to $10,000 for this phone. Paid for it. The phone was lost and they paid for it. Okay? I'm not buying that. I'm just not buying that. And if the phone was lost, why didn't anybody contact Apple that it was lost? Not buying that either. Somebody wanted to get paid. That's the reason why they stole it. So, Andy Anatko, he has a great article. Very lengthy. Take the time out, get some popcorn, get the kids, get around the campfire and read it. It's a very good post. And he has a short statement here that I'm going to read to you guys, and I agree with it. He's taking it from a journalist perspective, saying that if someone would have brought this phone to him as a journalist, what would he have done? Here's his answer. He said, we'll never know for sure. I don't know what I would have done, but I suspect that I would have thought very hard and then gone to my first impulse, return the phone to Apple. Okay? If it's been stolen, then Apple is the victim of a crime, and the ethical answer is to side with the victim. Makes sense, right? Given that this is a new smartphone and not a mechanism for anyone, he's making a joke there. If I was told that the iPhone had been found in a bar, I would have assumed that it was stolen from Apple. Me too. I mean, that's the lamest excuse that I found it in a bar. Come on, man. That's just crazy. And he says, and if the finder, the person who found it in the bar, wanted some sort of fee for the device, wanted some money for it, Andy says, I would have brought law enforcement into the discussion. He would have called the cops. That kind of situation is so shady that no journalist with an ounce of sense would come anywhere near it. Apparently Gizmodo doesn't have an ounce of sense, according to Andy Anatko. And I agree with him. This whole thing, the way this phone was obtained, the way it happened, is beyond shady. I can't even use the word shady. I think it's just plain flat out wrong and illegal how they did it. The phone was stolen. I'm convinced the phone was stolen. I've seen enough. I don't have any proof, but I'm convinced that the phone is stolen. Found it in the bar just sounds like, you know, my dog ate my homework to me. It's the lamest excuse ever, and it's like a 1 out of a million chance that actually happened. I just really don't buy the story. Now, Gizmodo has a lot of scrutiny. They're getting a lot of positive press. They're getting a lot of accolades. They're getting a lot of negative press. They're getting a lot of criticism. Like this video, they're getting criticized by me. But the thing that everyone, whether they like it or not, is going to demand is an explanation. They're going to want a detailed explanation as to what really happened in detail. Not that someone found the phone and now we have it somehow with magical pixie fairies. But how was the phone found? Who found it? How much did you pay for it? And when and where, if you even contacted Apple, did you do it before the blog post? So, the motives behind Gizmodo's actions are very questionable. The actions surrounding this kind of overshadows the whole notion of new iPhone features. I can barely remember the iPhone features. The only thing I remember is Gizmodo bought a stolen iPhone to sell for hits. To use for hits. They bought a stolen iPhone to use for web hits. And to me, that's a criminal act. This is Bwana from Bwana.tv. Those are my thoughts on Gizmodo's latest actions. And the possibly new iPhone features which are coming out. Like I said, they're not even that important to me. Now, I'm going to leave you with this one thing before I go. Apparently there's a rumor that Steve Jobs possibly called Gizmodo and wanted the iPhone back. Yeah, he called him and said maybe, just maybe he called him and said, I want my iPhone back. Now, we'll just have to use our imagination to wonder how that went down now, shall we? Take care. Bye-bye.